Yeah, whoa, you, yeah. Yo, let me tell you like this. Fuck 'em. Hey, shawty.
Something's always happening to me. Hey YouTube, it's Kaya back at it again with another YouTube video, and today is a girl talk. I'm basically gonna be telling you guys how to get over somebody you never dated. You're probably like, huh? Why would I need to get over somebody I never dated? Well, some of us are stupid, okay? Some of us get stuck in situationships and get heartbroken over somebody that never actually belonged to us. And if you're one of those people, I'm here to help you. So today is going to be a good big sister moment. Even if you're older than me, this is still a big sister moment. For one, I want to tell y'all, since we're in big sister mode, I'm going to be really harsh in this video. And I'm going to tell it to you straight. And I'm not even just talking to y'all, I'm talking to myself, because this is some real shit. And like, a lot of us deal with it. And yeah, I feel like a lot of us go through this. I've seen a lot of girls on TikTok talk about this. You get this infatuation with a person who was never even yours. It's crazy. Okay, so I'm going to start off by just saying, like, we got to stop being delusional. And really, I'm talking to y'all, but it applies to the both of us. Like, you gotta start looking at stuff for what it really is. From the title of this video, we're clearly talking about somebody that you were never in a relationship with. So clearly they didn't like you enough to even want to commit to you. So the fact that you even need to move on from a person like that is embarrassing in and of itself. You should be embarrassed right now, okay? I was too. It's embarrassing, you know? And once you can accept that it's embarrassing and take some responsibility for it, it will help you move forward and make smarter decisions. Like, I feel like when we have these situations where people do us wrong and we don't take any accountability for what happened and how we could have prevented it, we're just enabling more and more people to do us wrong. You can't be in a situationship if you don't allow yourself to be. So any situationship you've ever been in, it's because you let it be like that. You let it get like that. You let it get to that point. You're the reason you're heartbroken right now. You could have prevented it, but it's okay. There's a way to heal and move on from that. But you got to go back in time and analyze everything you did wrong. You got to take a few steps back to take a few steps forward, okay? Okay, so if you're the girl and you're looking like, damn, he did me so dirty, but I miss him. I wish it would have worked. You're just having all these wishful thoughts and fantasizing and romanticizing what it was and what it could have been. You need to sit back for a second and look. You have this idea of what you wanted it to be, what it could have been, but what was it actually? Stop reading into the little details and just look at shit like from a general, simple perspective. You will know if somebody fucks with you, and you will know if they don't. There is no in between. If it's not a yes, it's a no, bro. Simple. I don't give a fuck what they say, how they twist it. If it's not a yes, it's a no. And if it was a no and you try to make it a yes, then that becomes our fault. That becomes the fault of the person who did that shit. You know what I'm saying? And this is where I talk about taking accountability. Because once you can take accountability for the shit that you did wrong to yourself, then you can prevent that from happening going forward. That's the only way. That's the only way. So looking at the situation for what it really was, did you even like them? Like, for real, like, really think about it. What is it that you liked about them? I feel like to like somebody in that way, romantically, I feel like how they treat you plays into that. So if you're looking at somebody like, oh, well, they're a good person and they made me laugh. Okay, cool. They can make Chester down the street laugh too. I mean, that's just a character trait. Like, I had this issue where I would see somebody do something that I feel like is a good quality, and I would associate that with them and how they could treat me. So like, if a guy, you know what I'm saying, he loves his mom, he treats his mom so good, he respects his mom, my mind used to go to, okay, well, that's good. He respects women. Like, he'll probably treat me really good because look how good he treats his mom. No. Don't ever think no shit like that in your life. How somebody treats somebody else or responds to somebody else has nothing to do with how they're going to treat you, bro. He could be saving puppies out of burning buildings and still treat you like shit. Just because they're a good person or seemingly a good person doesn't mean that they're going to be a good person to you. Everybody has different experiences with different people, and your experience with that person just might not be the best. I just feel like somebody not wanting you should be the biggest turnoff within itself. It shouldn't be a challenge. It shouldn't be, oh, I'm gonna make him want me. If he tells you some shit, bro, take it at face value. If he tells you, you deserve better than me, I'd be no good for you. Listen, okay, I got you. I heard that shit, bro, and I was just like, he just talking. Like, he just saying that. No, he meant it. He was cold-hearted for real. That's what he said. That's what he did. It's like, people will really show you signs of who they are, and if you choose to ignore it, it's gonna come back around and bite you in the ass. You can only ignore it for so long. So into the moving on portion, how to get over this person that you're so infatuated with. Personally, what I think that you really need to do in order to like really move on from this person is to just remove yourself from the delusional mind state that you were in when you were messing with them, and put yourself in a place where you really looking at them as who they are. Like when you sit here and think about the times you begged, like just really think about it. Or even you could put yourself in the position of your friend. Let's say you pretend that this happened to your friend. How would you feel if somebody treated your friend like that? Like really sit here and think about the stuff they did. All the times you had to tell them to do this over and over again, they didn't. All the times they disrespected you. All the times they like shut you out. Like sit there and think about that stuff and low-key make yourself mad a little bit. Like sit there and just think like, damn, like they really put me through that. You know, and it helps fuel, I don't want to say fuel anger, but it helps take away that feeling of loving and missing and delusion. Reality starts setting in like, wow, I'm missing something that made me feel like that. Like think about how that shit made you feel. I think it's really easy to forget how something made you feel when you're not experiencing it anymore. Like you miss things until you experience it again. Like y'all ever had somebody you talk to and then y'all stop talking and you're like, damn, I miss them. Then you talk to them again and then you're like, damn, this is why we don't talk no more. That's exactly what would happen if you were to talk to that person again, bro. You have to really look at shit as what it is and move on. Like life goes on. The longer you take to move on from them, like I just feel like the more power you're giving them. Because you're sitting here sad, crying, trying to find YouTube videos to move and heal on. And they're living their best life, not worried about you. That should be one of the biggest reasons you want to move the fuck on. Take the time to cry, vent, listen to music, watch old videos, do what you gotta do. But make sure you're constantly making steps and moving forward. Don't just sit around being sad all day. After you cry, do something that's going to help you. Read a book. You know what I'm saying? Write some positive affirmations or something. Like, don't sit there and sulk all day and cry for weeks on weeks on weeks because it's not worth it. This nigga didn't even cuff you. That bitch didn't even cuff you and you're crying. Stand the fuck up. It's embarrassing. Wipe your face. I mean, like, it's just embarrassing. Like, you gotta look at it from an outside perspective. You look like a dumb bitch. And who wants to look like a dumb bitch? You know what I'm saying? Y'all know, if y'all watched my one video, I look like a dumb bitch. That shit is embarrassing. It's embarrassing to be fiending over or feeling some type of way over or being sad over or let somebody control what goes on in your mind when they literally don't care about you. Like, they're not worried about you at all. It's the biggest reality check. And you really have to cut them out of your life. Like, you have to have self-control. You have to exercise self-control. You cannot be stalking them, keeping up with them all the time. Like, I'm totally for crying if you have to cry, looking at old pictures, reading old text messages, but don't check up on what they're doing in their current life. If you want to reminisce, look at the stuff you already have, but don't go searching for new information because you're gonna get pissed off. If you find them posting something you don't like, it's gonna set back your healing journey. I say block them, honestly, because like when you're in a healing stage, like so many things could come in and like fuck it up. There's been times where I've been doing so good moving on from a person, and then they come back and text me or disturb my peace, and I feel like I'm back where I started. That's horrible. Nobody should have that power to put you back where you started. So you can't be stalking. They shouldn't have access to you anymore. You got to start making the decisions for yourself. I feel like the reason you were in a situationship is because you let them make the decisions, and that's what they decided. Now it's time for you to take that power back and make the decision to move on, to cut them off. I know a lot of times we like to keep people added on platforms and stuff so they can see us grow and all that bullshit, but no, don't do that. Because first of all, we can be real honest with ourselves. If he didn't like you like this, why would he like you like this? You're the same bitch. Even if you changed your hair and you feel like you look amazing, you're the same person. You look the same to him. Somebody who don't care about you is not going to care about you. And putting on a wig and some makeup or changing your outfit or posting a cute picture on Instagram ain't going to change that. Don't sit here and be like, I want him to see me doing great, because he's not going to give a fuck. Even if he does see it, he'll probably scroll right past it. Like, he does not care. Okay, so I think with me, I think something that's really helpful for me is to fill in the blanks myself. Like, I don't like to give myself hypotheticals that would give me hope. Literally, bro, if a person didn't care, nothing you do can make them care. You know, and if they start paying attention to you, it's no good intentions. If a guy hits you back up because he thinks you look good, if that's your goal, it's ill intentions. Why would you want that around you? Like, do y'all get what I'm saying? Like, you should never want that person to come back. You should never want them to feel comfortable enough to come back. So if that means you have to block them with everything, block them. Don't give them the opportunity to disturb your peace. I think a good visual would be to write down all the things that they did that you did not like, whether it was things about themselves or things that they did to you. It just helps you really look like, damn, this is them. Like, you want as many things that you can get to turn you off from them as possible. You want to be as turned off as possible. I want it to be like where you hear their name and you're like, ugh. Better yet, don't even be like, ugh. I want you to hear their name and be like, it's nothing. It's crickets. You don't even give a fuck. Because that's how they are about you. So you gotta try to reciprocate that energy. Okay, another thing that I think is really important is trying not to compare yourself to people you see them with after you and people you've seen them with before you. Because all it's gonna do is put you in a really negative headspace, and you're gonna start feeling bad about yourself when that has nothing to do with you. Like, I know a lot of girls will have a guy that they felt like was the worst guy in the world, and then that guy will turn around and seemingly treat a girl amazing. Give another girl everything you feel like you asked for. Don't harp on it, because first of all, 9 times out of 10, it's probably not how it seems. And if it is how it seems, it just is what it is. Like, life isn't always fair, so you can't sit here and harp like, ugh, what does she have that I don't? Because it's literally not that deep. Like, you can't think about everything too deeply. Like, just he didn't want you. Leave it at that. But you don't have to bring in this girl and that girl and make yourself feel worse and be like, what could I have done different? What am I missing? 9 times out of 10, it probably doesn't even have anything to do with you. Like, it could be a them thing. It could literally have been a them thing. Another thing is, you guys have to let people get their karma naturally. Do not keep trying to cuss them out, blow them up. Don't try to interfere with their next relationships and all that other shit. No. Karma is going to run its course naturally, and if you try to interfere with that by giving your own karma, you're gonna get your own karma. Like, literally, let it rock. You know what I'm saying? Life is gonna happen, and they're gonna get what's coming to them for doing what they did, and leave it at that. You know, it might not be satisfying, might not feel good, but just know, honestly, the biggest revenge you can do to somebody, bro, is boss up and be the best version of yourself. And it's not for them, it's for you. And like, honestly, don't sit here and think like, oh, he's gonna realize he's missing out, because who gives a fuck if he realizes or not? You're doing that shit for you. Yeah, I don't know. I just like to put myself in the mindset like, they don't care what I do. They don't care, because that's just who they are. And whether that be true or not, I feel like thinking it helps, because it doesn't give you like false hope or expectations. Like, you know what I'm saying? You won't be posting for the validation because, you know, it's not happening. I don't want to say being negative is better than like being positive, but I feel like when it comes to other people are really unreliable, and depending on other people for your feelings is really negative. I don't want to say I'm numb, but I don't expect anything. Like, I don't expect, oh, this person, we're talking in one conversation and he's cool and we're gonna get married. Like, no, I'm just existing. Like, honestly, like, I'm living life, and I enjoy that way more than stressing over every single person I talk to and expecting something out of every single person I talk to. Like, life is better for me that way. I feel like if you move with less expectations and just exist and cut people off when you need to, you'll get better shit. Like, shit will just go better. Yeah. That's really all the tips I have for that. If y'all want like a part 2 or me to talk about something else, totally let me know. Yeah, honestly, that's just my best advice. I hope this video helped y'all. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and follow me on Instagram, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. Bye.
Get them panties wet. Yeah. Let go. Fuck that nigga, let me hit your spot. You know when I'm in it, this shit don't stop. Now we all up in the